Hello, this is Kosmo and we continue our RenPy lessons, and today we will learn how to use numbers in our game. And you might ask me, do we even need numbers in our game? And I answer you that you probably need numbers, because with numbers you can trace all sorts of things in your game. You can trace your health points, you can trace your money, you can trace how many items in your inventory you have. So let's start by learning how to let the player enter some amount, some number, and store it in a variable. So let's create a variable called money. We write default. Let's call our variable money equals to 0. This will be our let's start with 10 coins that we will have at the beginning of the game. Here in our game, if you remember, we have our main character Imani that works in a store, in a Lovecraftian kind of setting. She works in a store, and one day she meets Maurice, a mysterious stranger that wants to get some item from his store for free because he doesn't have any money. So at some time in the game, at some moment, we have a choice to give him this item for free or don't give him this item for free. As you can see, I have expanded the dialogue quite a bit, and we gift him the item. So Imani gives him this item, and here in the script we have this variable gift equals truth, so we remember this choice for later. And here we, after this dialogue, when Maurice leaves, let him leave like this, I have a comment: put the money back in the store's cache. So Imani gave the item for free to Maurice, but she thinks that she might compensate the value of this item to the store, because she doesn't want to be fired for just giving items away. So let's make a choice here. I will just briefly explain what is going on. Imani thinks about compensating the store, and we will ask our player how much money will she put in the store's cache. And if you remember the lesson where we used input to input the main character's name, we will use the same command. Let's put a $sign, and let's create a variable called choice equals RenPy.input to let the player input a number. So let's ask the player how much, I don't know yet what currency is in this world, so how much coins to put in the store's cache. This is the question, and let's limit what characters can player enter in this input field. We write allow equals, and in quotes we specify which characters we can input. So we only can input numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. So now player can only enter numbers, and any number he enters will go to choice variable. Let's test it by writing u entered, and in square brackets we write choice, the name of our variable. So this way we can see that this line works. So now let's try. We can't put space, we can't write any letters, but we can write numbers. So as you can see, the first problem is we can put any number possible. So I don't think that Imani have I can't even tell 3 quadrillion coins in her pocket. And we see that this line actually works. Imani tries to put 3 quadrillion coins in the store's cache. So to get rid of this problem, we need some conditions to check what number did player entered. And as you remember from previous videos, to make it conditional, we write if, and let's try to do this. If choice is bigger, larger than 10, because as you remember, we have 10 money in our pocket at the beginning of the game. So actually we can do this. Is choice is larger than money, so this is 10 at the beginning of the game, then we write $, choice equals 10 or money. So if player enters the number larger than the money Imani has at the beginning of the game, then we'll put the maximum amount of money in our pocket into choice variable. So if we enter 20 but we have 10 money, then this conditional checks if 20 is more than 10, and we will put 10 into the choice variables. So we cannot enter more money than we have. So let's try this now. Let's enter 20, and if I press enter, we will see this. This is an error. What is that? Let's try to understand what's going on. Type error. More is not supported between instances of str and int. And you might ask me, what is str and int? And str and int means string and integer. Integer is a number. So here we put 10 into money variable. This is a number, so money equals 10. But when we use input, we get not a number but a string. That you can imagine, string is a text with quotes. So now choice equals to 20 in quotes. So this is a string. That means it's just a text, and RenPy doesn't understand how can you compare a text to a number, because if it's a text 20, RenPy doesn't understand how to measure it. And to get rid of this error, we must transform this text variable, string variable, into a number, into an integer. And to do so, we write $, choice equals, and there is a special command in Python. It's called int. Int is a command that, as you can see, convert a string or number into an integer if possible. A floating point argument will be truncated towards 0. So we write choice in parentheses, and that means that we take this text 20 and turn it into a number 20. And now RenPy can check if choice is larger than money. So let's try this again, and let's enter 20. And we see you entered 10, because 20 is larger than 10, and we put 10 into a choice variable. So now the variable choice is 10. So if we enter like 5, you entered 5. So any number that is less than money will be the same, and any number that is more than 10 will remain just 10. So this is great, but of course we should remember that player can enter a 0, so we need another conditional. If choice equals 0, we write Imani decided not to put her own money in the store's cash. And if it's any other number else, we write you entered and we specify what number we chose. And if we write 8, you entered 8. But if we write 0, we get this line: Imani decided not to put her money in the store's cash. I think you see how cool this is. So now we can trace how much money does the character have. We can spend this money, and of course we can modify the money the player has like this: $money equals money minus choice. And let's write you have square brackets money coins left. And it's simple as that. Now we can see how much money we have in our pocket. So if we spend 4 coins, you entered 4, you have 6 coins left. So next time we can use same code to check how much money can we spend in the game. But, well, now I will remove all this because I didn't plan to do this. Because I planned to do different variables in our game, because this is a Lovecraftian visual novel. I want to make sanity variable that will check how sane Imani is. And let's create a few more variables. Default favor will be 50 at the start of the game, and favor is the favor with the eldritch gods that rule the world. So if Imani does something that gods will not like, then this favor will decrease, and if she does something they do like, the favor will increase. And let's create one more variable, call it Maurice Trust. So this variable will measure how much Imani trusts Maurice, and if she trusts him very, very much, then something might happen in the game. So now let's use these variables in our choices. So when Imani compliments Maurice, we can increase that trust in Maurice. So the variable Maurice trust, we can write plus equals 5, and this means add 5 to this variable. It's the same as Maurice trust equals Maurice trust plus 5. It's just a short way to write this line. Plus equals 5 it means increase the value of this variable by 5. If we talk to him as usual, nothing changes. So in the next choice, when we can give him the item for free, if we give him the item, of course his trust will increase. Maurice trust plus equals 10. That means increase the trust by 10. And sanity, of course, let's decrease it by 5. Minus equals 5. That means decrease sanity by 5. And if we refuse to give him the item for free, well, let's increase favor with the eldritch gods by 5. Because Maurice is a very weird man, and I think eldritch gods don't like him very much. So if we do not give him the item, then gods very, very much like this. So this is a easy way to increase or decrease a value of numerical variable. And of course we don't have to write the value of these variables. in the script, in our text, because some variables might be hidden from player. And of course we can use any variable in any condition the same way we used Boolean variables, of course. So let's go to the next menu. When the boss yells at Imani and fires her, we can just go home, beg the boss not to fire her, and if we complimented Maurice and gave him the item for free, we have a third option, ask Maurice for help. And actually we don't need compliment and gift variables now, because we can just check their trust in Maurice variable. So if we compliment Maurice, the Maurice trust will be increased by 5, so it will be 5 because we start with 0. And if we give him item for free, Maurice trust will increase by 10 more, so it will be equals to 15. So here we just can remove compliment and gift and write if Maurice trust is larger or equals to 15. So even if we change something in the script, maybe we add more choices that will decrease or increase Maurice trust, we will check it like this. If Maurice trust is larger than 15 or at least 15, then we will see this third option in the menu. So let's check if this works. And I can tell you it is working. So we can compliment Maurice or talk to him as usual. Let's talk to him as usual. And we will give him the item. So in the next menu, we see only two options. Go home and beg the boss. And we don't see this because Maurice trust is less than 15. So let's go back to the beginning of the game. Let's compliment Maurice. Let's give him the item for free. And now in the third menu, we see three options. We see ask Maurice for help, because this variable is 15. So now you can see that you can use numerical variables in any conditions in any part of the game. So with the numerical variables you can control the flow of the game. For instance, if Imani's sanity is too low, then just you can jump to some label without even asking player to do something. And let's do something more. Let's say when we refuse to give Maurice item for free, we will increase Imani's sanity by 5. So when we apologize and refuse, the favor with the gods will increase by 5 and sanity will be increased by 5. Let's just check the sanity variable here. As usual, your sanity is, and we write sanity in the square brackets. So let's check what the amount of sanity will be after this choice. So we compliment Maurice, okay, and we refuse to give him the item, and our sanity is 105, and I don't like this because I want sanity to go from 0 to 100. It's like a percentage of Imani's sanity. I don't want the sanity to be more than 100 in any part of the game. And of course you can just write if sanity is more than 100, then sanity is equals 100. But I don't like this because every time when you change any variable, you will need to check if the variable is in the range you need. And I don't like this. And in the next video, we will improve this, and we will learn how to use RenPy labels in a very cool way.